Hi, good evening. Can everybody hear me? Junior, I do want to announce that our chair and vice chair will not be attending tonight's meeting. However, following direction from County Council, we will be holding a vote to elect meeting chair. So, council members, if you can please go ahead and nominate one of your other members and then vote to see who will be leading tonight's meeting.
You're asking me to do it, so
Okay.
I'm okay with that. Does it
Okay.
need to be an official vote or anything?
Diane, it looks like all the members are voting Diane in. Are you guys okay with voting? If you can please go on your mic and go ahead and cast your vote, please.
I nominate Diane chair this evening. Diane Mendez.
I also nominate Diane Mendez as chair.
Also nominate Diane Mendez as chair.
Thank you so much. Noting that change, Diane Mendez will be chairing this MAC meeting today.
Okay, so then we'll call the meeting to order now as of 6:03 or 6:01 when we requested the nomination chair. Okay, 6:03 is when we'll start the meeting, or when meeting is started. So first thing is the Pledge of Allegiance. Alejandro, you want to do that for us? Very much. Next is a roll call of members. We have Angela McLean, who's not able to come. You got the volume up a little bit? Very good. Also, Alejandro Maris
Here.
and Joseph Silva.
Here.
So we will agency staff reports, and we're just doing it in order that's listed here. Okay, Supervisor Baca's office.
Hello. Hi, can you hear me? Okay, perfect. Good evening, everyone, MAC members, community members. My name is Jessica Andelon. I'm with Supervisor Joe Baca Jr.'s office. First of all, we want to thank everyone that attended the Bloomington 3C groundbreaking this past Saturday in partnership with West Valley Water District. It was great to be able to get this new project ongoing. It's going to go ahead and impact 109 community members or households, and being able to move their water meters from the back to the front of the. We do appreciate the partnership with West Valley and look forward to continued clean water within our area. I know last meeting there was some concerns in regard to the truck parking areas. I've spoken with Code Enforcement Chief Ignacio Nunez regarding the unpermitted truck businesses. Ignacio has shared that the Board of Supervisor has allocated additional funding specifically for the enforcement of these businesses. He's going to be attending the MAC meeting next month to provide more information about the funding and then share the Code Enforcement Division's plan and enforcement approach to address the problem. These cases are a priority for them, and staff are committed to taking the action to ensure compliance. They do want to thank you guys specifically. I know even ongoing, but he is going to be coming and providing further update as to how they will be utilizing such funding. We want to maintain the open line of communication that you're informed about the progress, and then continue to share your concerns. Again, we don't have to wait until we're here every month. You're office, either Leanne, myself, any one of us would be happy to hear your. We do want to announce that we have Bloomington Dump Day on November 1st at Kessler Park. Code enforcement is working on having portable signage that'll be around the community of Bloomington. It's going to be those LED signs that will announce it. That way, hopefully, more people will be in it. As we might have shared, SCE is going to be hosting a community wildfire safety meeting. It is by registration. We printed out your flyer and it's posted in the back. Please scan the QR code to register. It is hosted by SCE. We just want to make sure we get that message out to the community so that they can be in attendance. And lastly, we are happy to invite everybody to our holiday open house, which will be held at the Center Building. That will be taking place on December the 4th from 4:30 to 7. It's on the back of the agenda, the invitation. We'll also be having some printed copies to bring as our next meeting comes. And yeah, if you guys have any questions, comments, please let me know.
November 1st dump day does include e-waste.
It does.
Okay.
It'll be
Very good.
shred and eat.
And that's at Kessler Park?
Correct.
And then the wildfire meeting, you said SCD. Who is that?
Southern California Edison.
Oh, SCE. I think it's the speaker.
It could also be my pronounce.
Very good. Thank you.
I do also just want to know, Aaron will not be providing a staff report since he does have a presentation. Thank you.
Have state legislative update. Do we have somebody here as the spokesperson? Very good. Thank you.
Hello, hello, good evening, everyone, MAC members and Bloomington community members. My name is Ulysses. I am here on behalf of Assembly Member Robert Garcia. I just wanted to announce, last time I was here, I gave you a full breakdown of his bills that were going through the legislative session. We have an update of the 5 bills that made it through the Senate. 3 of them have gone, or 5 of them have gone to the governor's desk as of today. We heard back about 3, 2 have been signed. Our probably top priority bill was AB 753, which gave a little bit more time for teachers to get credentialed and accredited specifically for childcare. So we worked closely with Child Care Resource Center at San Bernardino to make sure that we have that we can attract more childcare providers. That's everything from daycare to preschool to like elementary school teachers. And so it gives them up to 2 years to complete their official accreditation. They still have to do all of the background checks and make sure that they're safe adults to be around children at the beginning, but it gives them that 2-year to finish their accreditation. Secondly, AB 960, which has to do with patient visitation. This one started as dementia patient visitation. So patients that had a lot of needs in care centers, their family members and caretakers still had to oblige by the visiting time block. So when it came to like 8 o'clock or 7 o'clock, whenever the facility closed the visitation, they had to leave. And it often caused folks to go neglected because then there's only 1 or 2 nurses on staff overnight. So their patient with a lot of needs wasn't getting everything they needed. Now those visitation hours will be extended for the California state. And lastly, the one that didn't make it through that got vetoed by the governor was AB 843, which was the language access bill that would codify what our federal language access was before it was removed by President Trump here in California to make sure that we have access in every language for our insurance for patients that are using insurance. That one did not make it through. And we are waiting on a few other ones. Our thermal energy bill that is going to just make energy storage more efficient and save us a lot of money in California. And then lastly, our PSPS bill, which I know affected the community of Bloomington a lot with Southern California Edison shutting off power to prevent wildfire, but not giving adequate notice to residents and customers. So that one is still out on the governor's desk. Please call the governor, send him emails. That one is super important, specifically for Bloomington and 80. And then I'd like to close with we have a open house coming up. It will be likely in Fontana. I will be sure to send information to the supervisor so that it can be donated in Bloomington. Thank you so much.
We have CHP here. Yeah, okay. Code enforcement is next. And just a reminder, if there's any public comment, there are some forms in the back, and just drop it off at the board right over there, please.
Testing, testing. Is it good? You hear me now? Hello, everyone. My name is Moises Sanchez. I am the Senior Code Enforcement Officer assigned to Bloomington. I just wanted to give you some general information on code enforcement. Code enforcement administers programs designed to protect public safety, welfare, and property values, enforcement of San Bernardino County ordinances, laws, land use, zoning, housing, public nuisances, and corporate county. So if you see any issues at a property or in here in Bloomington that it's in violation of the county code or property maintenance codes, like it has a lot of junk and trash, has a bunch of broken down cars, the house itself is falling apart, please give us a call, let us know. What we'll do is we'll do an inspection, we'll verify if the violations exist, and we try to get a hold of the owner, let them know what they need to do to come into compliance, and hopefully they'll take what we give them and they'll do what we ask them to do. At times they don't, and then we have to follow through with our process. Our number is 909-884-4056. That's our main phone number. If you call that number, you're going to get to our office. From there, you can ask to speak to a specific officer like me if you want to, or you could just speak to the operator that answers, and you can provide the information such as the address and the violation, and it'll get routed to me or another officer for it. You can also go to our office Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. We're located at 268 West Hospitality Lane, Suite 300, floor, San Bernardino. And you can, you can go down there and you can meet with us in person, talk in person. I'm there at times when I'm not in Bloomington. I'll be at the office as well. You can always talk to supervisors or other staff there as well. You can also submit it online. If you just want to do it online, you don't want to call online. lus.county.gov. You go to that website, you find the part that says file a complaint. You just click the button, you enter the information. All of this can be anonymous. You're not required to leave your name or number if you don't want to. If you don't want to have any callbacks, or if you don't want to leave your name for any, it's not required. You can call anonymously. We have some other services that we do for the community. We do pick up illegal dumping. So if you see any illegal dumping in Bloomington on the right of way, we can that information on where it's located, and we will also pick up tires. We have a tire grant program that we do. Tires that are dumped on the road, on the sidewalk, and go. We also have our graffiti removal program. So I, on my own, proactively see graffiti, I report it for. But if you see some and you want to get it taken care of, give us a call at the same number, 884. Let us know the location, and we will have the a graffiti contractor go out and remove the graffiti. Sometimes they paint over it, sometimes they power wash it. It always comes out. Um, and just to echo what Jessica said, we're gonna have met with my chief, Ignacio Nunez. He's come to the next meeting next month. He'll have him on the truck terminal and truck route, kind of just going through different options and the way we want to approach this as best possible. So we're gathering all that information that when Ignacio comes, he'll have all that information and be able to answer as best as possible. Any questions?
Yeah. Your building, is it the Hall of Records or the ATC building?
It's the ATC book.
Okay. And then tractor trailers parked on the regular residential street where they're not allowed. Is it you or is it CHP that we would request issues?
Because
with?
it's on the right of way, it should. Code enforcement is primarily private property.
Okay,
So because it's the roadway,
got it. Okay, and then the cracks in the street because that one particular one keeps coming through and parking. Who do we contact for that?
or like repair of the cracks, that would be public.
Or you can send them to me and I'll elevate them to Public Works.
Thank you very much. Any questions from the board? Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Do we have somebody from the Colton Joint Unified School District? Okay, County Fire. And I see we have some sheriffs here. So if you can come on up, please.
My name is Jim Lisner. I'm a sergeant here at the Fontana Station. I'm not doing that. I'm not. Okay. How about now? Can you guys hear me now? Okay. All right. My name is Jim Lisner. I'm a sergeant here at the Fontana Station. He's the one of the, so I want to meet him. Couple different operations we're working with code enforcement, specifically to help them with some of the street vendor problems that we're getting a lot of complaints about. And that's going to be on multiple days from now until specific. We also have another operation that we're working that going to try and help dealing with some of the has some resources where they're going to be trying to place. We're going to go out with them and try and help out, make sure everybody's safe while they do that. So there's a couple things coming up that'll hopefully help with some of the problems. So hopefully, month that I wanted to touch on a little bit, and specifically, can't get a lot of detail because we're still working on them. They're still open active investigations, but they directly relate to LPR cameras that we talked about just getting put in. Just kind of show how they've already helped out. The first one is we had two people tried to rob somebody. Well, they did rob somebody and they tried to. We got very limited information at the beginning, but because of those ALPR cameras, we were able to identify vehicles that were in the area at the time of the robbery and the travel pattern of that vehicle. And based on that, we were able to identify the driver of the car, get a photographic lineup. Our victim was able to identify the actual suspect, or one of one of the two suspects. We're currently monitoring that suspect, so that person has not been arrested yet, because we want that person to lead us to the second suspect, and hopefully that will be here in the next day or two. But that we would not have found out the LPR camera. We had zero evidence outside of those cameras, and those cameras led us well to the identification. Another one, this one actually just happened for yesterday. This was five juveniles. Four of them are from LA here in Bloomington. They stole a car to a liquor store down in the number streets, and they rammed the wall, stole a bunch of stuff, and then ran. Deputies showed up, caught two of the five. Based on the two of the five shot, able to do search warrants, got into one of their phones, saw that the little crime group had a group chat where they were all talking about the criming that they were doing that night, and some really fun video of them committing the crime. They based on that conversation, we were able to learn that one of the people contacted his mother to come pick them up. So the three that we missed got picked up by mom, but mom didn't know. You could tell from the text, mom didn't know what she was doing. She was just picking up the kid and a couple friends. But we were able to get in touch with mom because of the LPR cameras. Again, she was from out of the area, so we used those cameras, started finding cars that were not from the area. Realized one of them came back to neighboring street from where one of our suspects was. Said, okay, probably them. Did some more research, found out her phone number, contacted her, and she gave us the names of the other three people, and kindly offered them in to talk to us tomorrow. So hopefully those other three will be booked first tomorrow. We're still trying to. We don't know, but we think that they were also responsible for stealing a gun, or we haven't been able to prove that one yet. But the description. So hopefully we can find that. I guess I wanted to talk about had nothing to do with the cameras, but there was a subject, 38-year-old man down in the number. Problem with somebody else that lived down there. Took a baseball bat and did a number on it. He beat him really bad. Deputies got down there. Hardly couldn't get a whole lot of it. Hurt so bad, and by the time he was able to talk, he was on heavy medication. But the deputies took a little bit of information they had, and they were able to identify a few potential suspects. Doing some follow up on that, ended out enough information. Again, create a stick. The victim was able to talk, told us what happened. He picked the suspect out. We went, did a house. Got on PAs and said, "Hey, come on out of." Two people came out. Either one of us turned out to be. We both said, "Oh no, he's not here. We haven't." We go in afterwards to the house. We're in the house. We noticed that the house is completely filthy. And so you start looking around, and in the trash, there's a bunch of insulation room right next to it where they swept up the insulation. So, we opened the attic, let them know that we were going to send a dog in and get him, which to come down with the dog out. And he decided he didn't want to be bit by the dogs. As we were searching the house, drugs, not a ton of drugs, but a decent amount of drugs. We found ammunition, holsters, not an actual firearm, but a lot of materials, silencers, and several knives. All of the stuff. Open electric circuits, junction boxes, all over the bed. A lot of the weapons were down where the kids could get them, so we arrested him and for him for the assault with a deadly weapon, uh, and then the rest are uh, the child. Actually, they both got complete charges up, and so that's a little bit what we do. All I have for you guys tonight. For me.
Thank you for your report. It's always very interesting, and thank you so much for your service.
Which one? Fireworks? We have nothing as far as surveillance cameras or anything. Fireworks. Um, yeah, but yeah, no, I wish we would put cameras up for that, but as far as I know, we don't have any plans currently for that. I don't know what the cost of that is. I don't know if that would even be feasible. But yeah.
But if you do see that, take a picture, get the address if you can. And there's the We Tip line. Do you know that off the top of your head?
Go ahead and post it on the Bloomington MAC as a did you know with the link. That way you guys can I know what you're talking about. I just don't know it off the top of my head.
Mm.
You know what, you do have. I was here last. Okay, but I found last month when I was talking to people is that a lot of people call report stuff to us, but and I know I don't expect you guys to know this, so hopefully this will help. You guys don't ask for contact. If we go into something like fireworks, if we show up and we don't see the fireworks where they're at, where they were launched, we don't see that you ask for contact. If we're busy, we're going to move on to something. Just the nature of prioritizing. You ask for contact when you talk to dispatch, then they'll you should be calling next. Yeah. It, by the same token, we have to see it. We have to see it or have somebody say they saw it. That's not something that I can. During event, we try to get. We have to borrow it from our own department. Other stations within our department have not a lot of it. So we ask for to borrow that usually because the what you're talking about has multiple functions. We have been utilizing them more for the ALPR. Now that we have that, probably which I mean I hate to say more important than the fireworks, but solve more crime with that than we would than the fireworks. Now that that's being addressed more, it might be a little easier to get it for something like that. But those aren't video. You know what I mean? They can answer, but I'm not 100% sure, and I don't want. So you'll be here next. Let me talk to boss's boss and really good about. I don't want to mislead. So send you to a place. Well, and that is my first inclination. Actually, my first inclination would be them, but I don't want to say that because I don't know them, and I don't want to. I don't want to lead you down the wrong path.
I think there was one more question. Typically, we don't take questions during this time, but you've answered some. So there's, I think, one more question. One or two more. You know who it is, so you can call on them.
Sure. The vendor issues, yes. Yes. If you like, I can talk to you afterwards. 'Cause I don't want. I'll be happy to talk as soon as we're done and tell you what we're doing. I'm getting the impression that I shouldn't be taking too much time, and that's going to be a long answer. But I'll be happy to talk. That's not what I said.
Very,
That's not at all
very
what I said.
important. But we have a lot of
That's
important
not at
things
all what I
going on
said.
tonight. Very, very important. But we do have an agenda for a reason, and we do want to get through everything, and we do have public comment as well. And when you're speaking from the audience, you're not recorded and you can't be heard very well. So we do have public comment where you'll be coming up to the microphone, making your request, your complaint, your suggestion on record, and it's loud enough so everybody can hear you. And the sheriff and all the presenters will be staying after the presentation. But you said there was one more.
She said she'll talk to me.
So much. Now for West Valley Water, or were there any questions from the board? Okay. Thank you so much. West Valley Water, are you going to give a report right now or wait till the presentation? Thank you so much. And, you know, we do appreciate everybody coming out here, voicing your concern, any complaints you have, anything that you have going on. We appreciate that and we want to hear it. And that's one reason why there are the public comment cards here. So you have your uninterrupted 3 minutes to be able to share what you need to. And we appreciate that. We highly encourage that as well. Next, we're going to go to informational presentation. And did you? Okay. And so just as a reminder, questions will be directed. If you have questions, it'll be the board questions. Residents' questions can be answered after the meeting where they can come to you directly. Thank you. These going on so we can see it as well, or we can just turn around if needed.
One is just that one side, but yeah, we'll turn them on.
I'll try to lean down to try to get more volume. For me, my voice is kind of scratchy. I'm just here to give an update on the I-10 Cedar Avenue. We'll do our best. I literally right at my mouth. I don't know what else to do. Does it help if I face that way though? That helps a little better. Okay. So my name is. Do you mind? Is that okay? Okay. So my name is Tim Watkins. I'm with the San Bernardino County Transportation Authority. We were out here a year ago to provide an update of the I-10 Cedar Avenue interchange. And so we wanted to come back and provide an update now. We're going through some real issues on that project, but I want to catch you up first with what's happening. And I'll give you some insight to what we're dealing with. And then we'll go from there. Oh, I'm sorry. This is Pavitra Pandey. He is our project manager from SBCTA over the project.
You can hear me okay on this one? Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Any better?
Good. Okay. Good evening, everybody. So right now, within the project, the contractor did deploy back to the job site. In Cedar Avenue, right now they are painting the bridge girders and they are wrapping up paving of the site. And on the westbound on-ramp, they are finishing concrete paving, installing curb and gutter and guardrail. And then on the westbound off-ramp, they're doing some grading work so that they can basically do the concrete paving in the westbound off-ramp. So that's the current work right now, and I'll give it back to Tim.
So a year ago when we came out, we talked about what was ahead. And since then, we've delivered some elements of the project that include walls near both the eastbound and westbound ramps, the ramp work that Vitra was talking about, some of the mainline work that leads up to the eastbound ramps, and a significant portion of phase 1 of the structure over the freeway. But as you know, that structure though also goes over the railroad. And so right now we are up against kind of a wall, if you will, to navigate how we move this project forward effectively. And that's working with our partners at the railroad and working with the contractor on some contractual issues on how do we come together so that they can continue to the railroad can continue its mission to moving goods throughout this country through that corridor while we can to build this project effectively and give it back to the public in its future state. It is a very sensitive conversation. Comes down to our ability to get adequate work windows to do the type of work on the structure that's needed. It isn't something that you can do while the line is running underneath. And so that's where we're at an impasse, is how do we get the work windows we need in order to execute that work? Those conversations are taking place right now. It was last September that I was here. It won't be next September, Jessica, that I'm here again. While we work through those negotiations and we get an outcome of that conversation, I'll come back. When we get to the next milestone after that effort is done and the work resumes in that railroad portion of the structure, I will be back. There's still a lot of work to do. I'm not trying to make it look like we're near the finish line. We're not. This project has already been long. I know that. And there's a lot of work to do. What we're trying to do now is work with our partners to shorten the amount of remaining work windows and time that needs to be done. So I will be back. We'll give you updates as we go. I wish I had better news than that, but that's where we are. Whatever it's your meeting.
If you don't mind coming to the front, just that way it can be recorded on the mic, that would be great.
So does this mean that we're going to take questions from all the other presentations as well? Just want to clarify.
Isn't talks
Okay.
about timelines and stuff? Shouldn't that be decided before you start the project? So like you start a project and it drags out 3 years because you don't have the approval from the railroad yet? How does that work?
So, no, it is a great question and it makes a lot of sense. So in the beginning of this process, this project has evolved over time of who was functioning or operating the project's delivery. So the county did some work, Caltrans has done some work, and then we were brought in to deliver the project. Maintenance, construction and maintenance agreements were put in place, and everybody did their job to protect their interests. The railroad has an interest that they need to protect. We, through our contract with the contractors, deferred some of that risk over to them to manage that challenge. What has happened, not necessarily the exclusive reason, but a major contributor, is that operations of the railroad has increased since the project started, which has created a different challenge. And so that's what we're trying to work through with our partner on that. There's been conditional changes related to tariffs and the infusion of goods and moving goods throughout the country before tariff impacts, supply chain issues, all of that kind of stuff. So it's just this big challenge. Absolutely right. In a normal scenario, we should have all of those agreements on how we're going to work in place, but conditions have changed. And with the uniqueness of the relationship with what the railroad's needs are, what our project's needs are, and then working with a contractor that we've had some challenges with, this is where we ended up. So the question is right on point, and we are equally, and I shouldn't say equally, there's no way we're equally as frustrated as you are, but we are definitely frustrated that we can't come to an agreement now on how we're going to move this forward in the best interest of you all.
Everything is going as it is right now. And of course, we're not going to hold you to it. We're just asking,
Sure.
What is the guesstimated ETA of completion?
Yeah, I really wish it all is to be contingent upon that conversation that we have with the railroad and the contractor over these current impasse issues. Please allow me to come back as soon as those conversations are complete and give you a really good forecast on that. I wish I could say right now. There's no doubt there's a lot of work still to do, because once we get that work window to do the girder removal and establish a new structure over phase 1 of the railroad bridge, we still have to shift traffic and build another bridge essentially right next to it. That's still a lot of work to do. In the meantime, other contract work is going while we're working through these two particular issues. Thank you. I appreciate it, Chair.
More. So you said there was a meeting going on now or
Yes.
at this time?
Literally, we've actually had some of the conversations already. I know that our friends at the railroad are also having conversations with our congressman about understanding and appreciating pros and cons from both sides, and how do we come to forward.
Well, I guess my question is, there's a whole nother half of the bridge that's not directly impacting the railroads. Can those be worked on and then, create sort of like
Traverse all the way to access to Cedar Avenue altogether, and then that putting that traffic.
One question or comment. Excuse me. We've done this dance before.
Yeah.
We started with the Cherry Bridge, Citrus, Sierra, all across the railroad. They had no problems. My concern right now is public safety, officers, fire, getting over the bridge.
I appreciate that. So
Please, if we,
yeah, I can tell you that Supervisor Baca is extremely engaged in this conversation. Not only as a supervisor, but also as a member of the STA Board of Directors. So he is engaged. Every project has its own unique circumstances, and timing of when those things occur also contribute to the issues that are in front of us. The goods movement issues coming out of the ports of Long Beach and Los Angeles moving through this area is at its all-time high. That means that there's demand for that railroad capacity to remain active. We get that. At the same time, we need to advance this project forward. There was one more question in the back. Do we want to take it or no? Oh, Yvonne? Sorry, Yvonne.
Would it be an option to ask a representative from the railroad to come? Because as far as I know, when we first started the project, it's a female that came on their behalf, but it was for the plans. We haven't had anybody since. Maybe we.
There's Lupe Valdez from UP Railroad is a friend, if you will, of the agency. I've known Lupe for a long time, so I'll reach out to her and her team to see what we can do as far as bringing somebody out here to represent that voice in the conversation. Because I do think it's important that we all have a chance to be fairly heard and understand what we're all facing from a challenge perspective, but then we can also all hear what this means, what are the decisions that we're making and the effect it has on people. So
it does. As you can see, we're all extremely frustrated. Every single one of us in here that lives here, that drives through here, we are extremely frustrated. But we do appreciate you coming out and giving us these updates and filling us in on what's going on. So thank you so much. And we will wait for any comments to please fill out a comment card. We can take that during public comment. Thank you very much.
thank you. I think Chair Mendez.
And thank you. Yes, we're asking, we're asking all of our presenters to please stay till the end of the meeting, because there are a lot of questions from residents, and unfortunately we can't be doing it right now during the presentations. So the next presentation will be on AB 98, the County Land Use Department, and I think Jessica had something to say about that.
yeah, so regarding AB 98, I will go ahead and open public comment. I know we've already have a couple of we had a couple of specific AB 98 questions. So at this time, I will open public comment during the presentation. Please bring your forms over to me. I will close public. We'll move to anyone having questions going up to.
Comments. So just keep in mind that there will be time. We have 3 minutes for each that is called up here for public comment. And I think that's it. Okay, so public comment is now open. We do make notes on them, give them to Supervisor Baca's office, and they will move forward regarding what you've presented, what you've said, any issues or concerns. It will be recorded not just via microphone, but also these public comment cards. So are you Tanya?
No, I'm Lauren, the presenter. We're taking public
We're
comment.
going to come first. Thank you. And hopefully you can address some of those comments and use the microphone right up there. So we can hear you nice. You're welcome to. So okay, got it. Thank you. So we'll do the presentation first. Thank you, Joaquin. We'll do the presentation first and then public comments. Get those done and turn it into Jessica, please. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, everyone. My name is Lauren Miracle, planner with San Bernardino County Land Use Services. Tonight, our consultant, Colin Drucker from PlaceWorks, will give a presentation.
Okay. So, I'm going to go through while maintaining the safe and have to adopt their truck routes. However, areas in what's the warehouse concentration region have an earlier deadline. This region, which includes all of unincorporated districts uses, and jurisdictions in this region have to adopt truck routes by the end of this year. While trucks travel throughout all of Southern California, the surrounding cities have designated truck routes along local roads. The black lines are those within incorporated areas. There we go. Almost. Okay. The county has already limited truck movement on many local roads in Bloomington. Those are shown here in solid red. Those are weight restricted roads. And the city of Jurupa Valley has identified 2 nearby roads that are also. So given the large amount of industrial development south of the 10 freeway and connections to truck routes and interchanges in Fontana and Rialto, Slover Avenue, making sure I wasn't advancing too far. Slover Avenue makes sense as an east-west truck route in Bloomington. Cedar Avenue may also make sense as a south truck route given its direct access to the 10 freeway, designation as a truck route by Rialto and Jurupa Valley. There are some residential areas that are along and adjacent to Cedar Avenue. Fronting it is commercial along. In the very southeast, the number 3 there, that's Aguamansa Road. There's a small gap around existing industrial development. County designation is proposed to close that gap. Notably, while Fontana shows Valley Boulevard as a truck route through Bloomington, Rialto does not, and the land use designations along in Bloomington do not support large industrial development, and so Valley Boulevard is not being recommended as a truck route. And then to better protect the residential areas in Bloomington that are adjacent to industrial development in Rialto, waiting to see. There we go. Okay. So to better protect the residential areas in Bloomington that are adjacent to industrial development in Rialto, that's number 4. A new weight restricted route is proposed along Santa Ana Avenue. That's shown in these thicker red. Cedar Avenue and Bloomington's eastern boundary. And finally, The county will continue to coordinate with Fontana to encourage the city to remove Valley Boulevard and San Bernardino Avenue from its general plan truck route maps. So, and I have other maps that go a little bit closer and can help for discussion. Given the tight timeline of state law, both given its recent nature and the deadline of the end of this year, and the added complexity of the multi-jurisdictional planning that's required, the county began raising awareness of the new law and updates starting in June with the regional open houses. And then once we were able to gather meaningful information and potential strategies to share, the county began conducting this focused efforts in October for all of the unincorporated residents and targeted meetings in the Valley region, including tonight's meeting. So the county maintains web pages dedicated to the new law, how to ask your questions, and learn about other outreach meetings. To meet the deadline of updating truck routes in the policy plan by the end of the year, the adoption hearings are right now identified to take place with the Planning Commission on October 23rd and with the board in December. This is an act that's subject to what's called the California Environmental Quality Act, or CEQA. Fortunately, we can leverage the EIR, the Environmental Impact Report, that was prepared for the county plan in 2020. These are relatively minor updates in terms of CEQA stance. Designating a handful of new truck routes. We're not expecting to create new significant environmental impacts. And so, and that's just because we already have a lot of trucks that were planned to travel. So this is not necessarily new. This is a designation of truck routes. And so we anticipate an addendum to the countywide plan EIR, and we'll bring those findings to the adoption hearings. So tonight we're here to answer questions and have some discussion on what we're considering as potential truck routes. And then the next steps will be continue engagement, starting with the virtual outreach meeting, October 7th. That's open to all, so please, if you want to go, you'll hear my presentation again, but please invite others to attend and visit the website and spread the word. You can also send questions to Lauren or Vince there. We thank you for your time, and we look forward to more questions and discussion.
Number 13, please.
Yes.
I'll try to stay out of the light, but I want to.
I'm
Thank you. Okay, my question is, I live right here, this little horseshoe of 13 houses. As you can see, I am completely surrounded by warehouses. That is
Yes.
reality for me and my family. So I don't mind sharing. This is my route that I take every day to work. Here, here, here. Many times I'm stuck right here because of the trucks that use right here to take that little shortcut. So you're saying that this is weight restricted, it's not a truck route?
that one is on one side, it is the county, and on the other side is a Harupa Valley. And Harupa Valley has designated it as a truck route, so there's some coordination that needs to go on there.
So those going westbound can travel on it, but eastbound they can't?
I believe opposite, I think.
Okay, so
I think eastbound, that's in Harupa Valley. On the
So,
south side, I believe,
the
is in
south
Harupa
side.
Valley.
So as long as the truck's down the south side of the center divider, they can travel on that road.
According to the city of Harupa Valley, yes.
Okay, but according to the county of San
Well,
Bernardino,
the county has no jurisdictional control over that side of the street.
okay, so we're kind of screwed either way. So the same as this, well, so
Well,
this
Santa
San
Ana
Bernardino-
Avenue is fully within the county in that stretch. And so, well, actually, that's Harupa. So Harupa Avenue and Santa Ana Avenue, shown in those red lines, those are fully within unincorporated areas.
Okay, so to get to Riverside Avenue, this spot right here is in county and it's not a truck route. This is Harupa.
Right.
And so on Harupa this way, because it's the city of Rialto, they are allowed.
Well, Rialto right now has not designated that area as a truck route either. So this is where there are occasionally some, or more frequently, I don't know the truck counts offhand on that area, but there are trucks that go along roads that are not truck routes because they're allowed to by federal law if they need to go directly access the businesses that they serve. So if there are businesses that are off of truck routes, the federal law preempts county or local law.
So as long as they could say they're just going to go get food, they're fine.
This is the trick of enforcement. Enforcement is very tricky because a lot of people that you stop may be able to make an argument that they have the federal right to go there. So it depends on which part of the community you're talking about. If you don't have any service areas around you and there's no businesses for them to serve, it's very easy because you can say there's no reason for you to be traveling along this local road. If they're in a commercial area, it's a lot harder.
So this is Santa Ana, right?
That's Harupa.
This Harupa, so Santa Ana. So
Yes.
trucks are not supposed to be driving here.
That is what we
unless-
are proposing. So right now, there's no weight restriction, but because of the industrial to the east in Rialto, we want them to travel east to Riverside Drive and not go west to Cedar Avenue.
This way is okay.
Yeah,
but
we want
that
that.
way
Yeah,
is not
Riverside
okay.
Drive is the north-south black line there to the east of number 4. And you can see kind of the building footprints. That's where a lot of industrial development is. We want that industrial development to travel east to Riverside and to be restricted from going west into Bloomington. And because they would want to access Cedar as another option, and we want to restrict that movement.
Okay, so big rigs can go here to get to Cedar,
Right.
and well, they're just going to take the shortcut here, anyways. Okay, so you're probably going to get a lot of public comment because all of us, just like the Cedar Bridge,
We
it
fully
affects everybody,
anticipate
and
a lot
everybody's
of
not happy right now.
Right.
So I think that's why we're doing the public comment here as well.
Yes.
Does the board have any questions for this gentleman?
I also have
Oh.
a closer up version, if we not to dismiss the southern area, but just in case a closer up map version, I have this too.
Oh yeah, the whole community is very important. Thank you. Okay, so the board, does anybody have any questions for this nice gentleman? And just remember, unless we have translation, thank you so much. Unless you're translating, please keep any comments or side conversations down because it's really difficult to hear in here, as all of you know. So thank you very much. Did you say you still had some more to share?
No, I'm just saying I can bring, whenever the screen goes on, if we need to show a map, I have that map, and then I have one that's a little bit zoomed in, and I've labeled where the schools and the parks are. So just for context.
Okay, so Yvonne, did you have any questions?
To be addressing the questions because I see.
Yeah, they're public comments. So public comment, there's no interaction. Public commenting on record, share their concerns.
Because I see some hands going up, and if those are the hands that did that.
Possibly, yes.
Okay.
Joe, did you have any questions? Alejandro? Okay, so then public comment will begin. Thank you so much for your presentation.
you.
And thank you for staying afterwards for more specific questions from individuals. Public comment is open to start. Yes, is it Tanya? Okay, thank you. And Jessica will Jessica will be handling the 3-minute time limit. Thank you. You're going to speak directly into the micro so that we can all hear you and that your comment is on record as well.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well, yeah, my name is Tanya. I work with People's Collective for Environmental Justice. Yeah.
Now, right now we have our public comment. So this is only voice that we should be hearing besides the translation, of course. Thank you. So please, any side conversations, please stop. Thank you. And take them outside or past those doors over there, please. Thank you, Tanya. I apologize for that. Your 3 minutes will start all over again.
All right. Thank you. Okay. Thank you. Yeah. So first of all, I just want to address that we would be having all of these issues if the county and all the surrounding cities wouldn't continue to approve so many warehouses. Knowing that we don't need them anymore, now like they can't even finish building, expanding the bridge because of the rails. Like this demand wasn't created by us. This demand was created by the industry. So I just want to address that first. I do have a couple of questions, but I know that I guess I'll speak to you all directly after, but I do want them on the record, because yeah, I feel like this was very last minute. I know the outreach, quote unquote, started in June, but a lot of people didn't hear of it until the last MAC meeting when they were like, oh, we're going to talk about it October 1st. And if you knew you had to have it done by the end of this year and started in 2026, why did you wait till the middle of the year to start this? You know, you could have done that ahead of time. Okay. I also want to know how much time we will have to comment on the routes. Yeah, so are we going to be able to comment on them? And if so, how much time are we going to be able to have so we can submit written comments as well? I was going to ask for a map, but I saw that there is a map created. I just want to make sure that it's on record that we don't want truck routes anywhere near home, schools, or parks. I do not think that it's going to be a great idea to have trucks on Jurupa or Santa Ana, especially. There is, you know, Zimmerman nearby. There is parks nearby, like Kessler Park. There's Bloomington High School on Santa Ana. There's residents in Santa Ana as well. So you just need to take into consideration. I also had a question specifically about like the area on Jurupa Avenue. It's like purple. I know that's like a Fontana sort of jurisdiction thing there, but I just want to make sure what that means, if it's a truck route already, if it's a plant truck route. And I want to know if like Fontana has a say on that one or if it's the county of it as well.
From what I understand, the purple is the boundaries. Is that correct? Purple is so the other side of Jurupa, that would be Rialto, the city of Rialto. Yeah. Next, Sochi Pedraza.
Good evening. My name is Ochil Pedraza. I'm a resident of Bloomington, and I also, well, she kind of pointed the same thing. It seems like all the industrial areas that are, especially the new houses, the houses that were demolished around the, Zimmerman in the park, it seems like it was very poor planning because the trucks are going to have to get there somehow. Santana, she mentioned school right there. Zimmerman is close to Cedar. They're also going to have idling stations, designated areas. Idling air goes everywhere. It's right there. So if they were trying to move Zimmerman to Cedar, then Cedar, it's also going to be a main, or it just makes it would be logic to have Cedar as a route, even though we don't want it. But so all those warehouses are just going to be sitting in the middle of residential areas with no way of getting there. And then the federal loophole where they're going to say, well, we need to get there. So basically, unless they do pay attention to us in the open houses and our voice is heard, there's loopholes and we're pretty much screwed.
Much. Yeah, great point. I don't know if you heard us, but we're all right there in agreement with you on your comments. Next, we have, is it Mina Torres? Okay. Joaquin.
Good evening, everyone. Mac and the county, the consultant. First, I wanted to start off by saying, why did we have to bring in a third-party consultant to with what is best for the community? Who proposed for these changes for these updates? Why did it come from a consultant and not from the community? And these meetings, these changes seem like they're really important to me. They seem like something that everyone should know about, that the community should be a part of. But there was not enough outreach. Most people didn't know that this is happening. Most people didn't potentially they could ask for a prohibited truck route in their community, in their neighborhood, but they're not here because not enough outreach was done. And for something so important as a truck route that could potentially be there permanently for the rest of our lives, I feel like we should have done more outreach, and that these meetings should be more intentional to get the community input. If the planning commission meeting to approve this is in 2 weeks, we could ask for any changes we want. Is it really going to happen? Are we going to get those changes that we need? It seems like it's just checking off a box. The county's coming up with their own plan, checking off a box, asking for commentary from the community, and be like, oh yeah, we had our community meetings and the changes we're making. But how do we know? It's really from the community. I think we want changes. Like, for example, Santa Ana. Why is it only a truck route up to Laurel, and then so trucks are just gonna stop moving and then disappear, or like what? They're gonna keep on going. And then on Linden, next to Zimmerman, there's a little block of prohibited truck route. How, like, that doesn't make any sense. Make the whole thing a restricted truck route, like, And I think these maps don't make sense because it didn't come from the community. It came from the consultant. And, I don't blame the consultant. They're doing their job. But the community should have been consulted on this first. Today, we know, coming from our experiences, coming from what the county is seeing on their own maps, or whatever. I hope, what I wish right now is that the county pushes these votes and does more intentional outreach to reach all the residents of Bloomington, and make sure that these truck routes reflect our lived experiences and our concerns. Thank you.
Okay, you said you had a request. What was the request for the county to what?
To push off the votes that are October 23rd, and then the county one, I don't know, what is it? What was it?
Yeah,
In
the
December.
okay.
So
Yes.
Buenas tardes a todos, por un parqueadero lejos de mi casa.
I have to pay $500 for a parking spot far away from my home.
Entonces, tengo que llegar a casa porque tengo miedo de dejar mi camión con mi carga lejos de mi casa porque se pueden robar mi carga y es responsabilidad mía.
So I'm afraid to leave my truck and to leave it there and have to go home because I'm afraid it's going to get robbed or it's going to get stolen.
Entonces, por esa razón yo quiero parquear mi casa. Por eso compré esa propiedad hace 30 años, porque me quiero parquear ahí.
So for that reason, I bought my property, I bought my home about 30 years ago because I want to make sure that I park there.
Porque ha aumentado los robos de los camiones y también me robaron la computadora de mi camión por no tener un parque adecuado, porque no hay, está demasiado caro.
Because thefts have gone up, and they've also stolen my computer out of my truck because it's parked where it's not safe.
Y deberían tomar consideración con nosotros. Ya sé que no nos quieren hechas parte, pero nosotros somos los que movemos, nosotros somos los que llevamos los alimentos en sus hogares.
And we should be taken into consideration because we are the ones who provide, we move everything, we're the ones who bring all the food into your homes.
Y esa es la pregunta que tengo, porque tengo unos lugares y yo que estoy lejos de la escuela, como a 5 millas de parque y todo, y no me lo permiten.
And that is my question. Why is it that people are parking where they want, and I'm more than miles away from the school, and I'm not allowed to park my truck?
Es todo, gracias.
That is all. Thank you.
Much for your concerns, and thank you for
Disculpe,
complying with the
señora-
rules.
Señora
That's
María.
needed, definitely.
Ah.
And the county is working on.
I have something. Señora María, el oficial Moisés va a hablar con usted porque está permitida un camión por un acre. For translation, code enforcement is going to speak to her. If it is registered to her property, it's 1 truck per acre. So we'll work with her.
Thank you. Claudia Cuevas? Do we have Claudia here?
Hola, muy buenas tardes.
Hello, good afternoon.
Mi nombre es Claudia Cuevas.
My name is Claudia
Y
Cuevas,
vengo del Centro Comunitario de Acción y Justicia Ambiental.
and I'm here from CCAEJ.
La situación es, mi pregunta más que nada para las personas que están acomodando la sección de mover las entradas de los camiones.
So my situation, well, it's more of a question for the people who are organized.
For a moment, please. I'm so sorry. We need to stop the side conversations because we can't hear her, and we need to give everybody respect who comes up to this dais, please. Thank you.
La situación es esta. ¿Qué va a ocurrir con los proyectos que la ciudad aprobó? Las bodegas nuevas que vienen a la ciudad.
So this is the question. What's going to happen with the projects that have been approved by the city? What's going to happen with the warehouses?
Muchas veces la ciudad aprueba proyectos
A lot of the times the city approves projects
sin tener en cuenta esta situación.
without considering these situations.
Que tienen que abrir las calles son para carros peatones.
That they have to move these streets
para camiones pesados.
for heavy trucks.
Y nuestras calles no están diseñadas para ese
And
tipo de camiones.
The situation here is that our roads, our streets are not designed for this kind of traffic.
Muchas veces los camiones pesados
A lot of the times these heavy trucks,
se meten por calles que no son dirigidas para ellos.
they go to these streets that are not designed because the streets are very
Ellos no
small.
pueden dar vuelta en esas
They
calles
cannot
pequeñas.
turn on these small streets.
Se han llevado semáforos
They have
han
taken
chocado
our
con
traffic
automóviles
lights, they have crashed
o han ocasionado
cars,
que las personas que
or-
estamos esperando en un semáforo nos echemos hacia atrás.
or they have caused that if we're at a stoplight, we have to move back.
Entonces, quisiera saber qué es lo que vamos a hacer sobre esas bodegas que van a venir y los proyectos que vienen a futuro que ya fueron aprobados, cómo va a funcionar.
So I would like to know what are we going to do and how are we going to move forward? How are we going to solve these situations for the warehouses that have been approved and the future projects to be approved?
Entonces, ahora con esto que está ocurriendo, nos estamos dando cuenta que no nada más vienen bodegas o dicen, no nada más vienen proyectos a la ciudad,
So now with this, we're realizing that we only have projects in the city because
sino es la situación que ocurre con los camiones pesados.
if it's not the situation that occurs with the heavy trucks.
Y más cuando vienen alrededor de las escuelas y
And
los vecindarios,
even more around schools and our neighborhoods,
que el tráfico es muy pesado
that traffic becomes very heavy
y puede ocurrir mucho peligro.
and it's a very high risk.
Entonces tienen que, ahora con este proyecto,
So now with this new project,
vigilar muy bien por dónde van a ubicar a los camiones.
we need to be very careful and be very vigilant of where the trucks are going to go through.
Y también los camiones a veces no respetan
And also truck drivers are not always very respectful
cuando hay letreros muy grandes
when we have very big signage
diciendo que no pueden entrar.
stating that they cannot come
¿Cómo
through.
van a vigilar a los camiones?
How are they going to keep an eye on this?
Pudiera haber algún como esos sectores de que pudieran prevenirles que ese no es su sector y les también apoyaran a los camioneros a decir, no puedes entrar, te prohíbe entrar aquí.
Maybe we can have some sort of program where we're making sure that they're not going through a specific place.
Porque muchas veces ellos no respetan.
Because a lot of the times they're not respecting.
Y es triste que oyes en la ciudad
And it's very sad that
que
we
los
see in the
mismos
city
policías se frustran
that the same police officers are
porque ellos
frustrated
dicen que están para proteger a la ciudad y detener delincuentes
because they're here or they say they're there to protect
y
the
están dando
citizens
tickets cuando
and they're
llamamos,
not-
cuando ellos entran a un sector que no
and
deberían
they're
entrar.
not giving out tickets or infractions when someone breaks the law or they're coming in through a place they're not supposed to.
Entonces tenemos mucho trabajo
So there's a lot of work
y tenemos que cuidar a nuestra comunidad.
and we need to take care of our communities.
Muchas gracias.
Thank you.
Freddie's going to ask her.
Very, very important questions, concerns, and we do want to reach out to those who have those questions and get some responses as well to you. Next, we have Pam Gale. Thank you.
Sure which of these mics work, so I'm just gonna yell. First,
Ye-
this one. I turned this one off. This one's off. But back in there, I just want to say that because today it's worse than usual. It's distorted and it's turned around, and the people in the back could hardly hear the speakers, and half said we can hear. So anyway, yeah, the community was not adequately informed at all about this truck routes. Basically, Slover's always been designated a truck route. I've been here 50 years. Bloomington was never designated a truck route. Bloomington has always been a community. Bloomington, according to the county's own sources, is the most highly densely populated, unincorporated area in the county. We are only less than 6 miles square. We've already dedicated our truck route.
We don't have that. That's why they come down every street in our city. That's why they do it. You can post all the truck routes you want. If we don't have the DOT enforcement to bust these people, they're going to keep doing it, okay? So, according to your map, can't go down Harupa, can't go down Santa Ana, can only go down Cedar and Slover, right? But the county allowed them to build a truck stop on a street that you can't go on, one way in, one way out if you go by the law. Do they follow the law? No. No enforcement. Why do they park there for more than 6 hours? No enforcement. Why are all the street vendors still here? No enforcement. When does it stop being a code enforcement problem and it starts becoming a criminal problem? The truck parking on Santa Ana by Cactus. No truck route. He's advertising right now on 3 different internet platforms. Come to Bloomington, bid on a truck spot, pay the money. We got all the parking you want. If there's no enforcement and it's not criminal, they're not going to follow the rules. So as I appreciate your truck routes, love them. You can make all the truck routes you want. But if we don't have DOT enforcement, and I get it, Sheriff's Department's not really their job, they're shorthanded. CHP, shorthanded. We have to face a very, very obvious reality. We are a county, we are this small, we are not city, we are not this big. It is what it is. Do I accept it? No, I don't accept it by any means. Street vendors. When does it stop getting a ticket and they start going to jail? I hate to say it that way because I know they're making a living for their family, but illegal is illegal and they're getting dangerously close to the street. Again, you're on Santa Ana coming westbound or eastbound. Before you get to Cedar, you really have to watch what the hell you're doing because they're literally on the side of the pavement with all their stuff. They're setting up tables with lights, napkins, chairs, salt and pepper shakers. They're setting up a mini restaurant. So when does it stop being a code enforcement thing and it becomes an enforceable felony, misdemeanor? Take them to jail. I mean, how much more do we have to put up as a community? We're approving all these warehouses according to your truck map, Cedar, Slover. But you got 800 million warehouses out here that have, 30,000 trucks that are going to come through here, but you have no truck routes. Where are they going to go? You're putting a major warehouse across from his beautiful park he just built. That park services that community all year long. Hundreds of people on a weekend. On a good all-star weekend for Little League, 500 to 700 people, maybe 1,000 on one day. And you're going to put a multi-million square footage warehouse right across the street. This is why the community is upset. It's the enforcement is all it is. It's flat out the enforcement. If they don't have the resources to enforce it, like I said, that gentleman on Santa Ana, 3 platforms now for trucking. 3 platforms. Advertising it. Willy-nilly. He's even got a video. Shows the lot, shows the fencing.
Thank you,
Not doing
Gilbert.
anything.
It's time. Thank you very, very much. So for the AB 98 presentation, the public comment is closed as of right now. We'll open public comment back up for the other presentations or any other issues when we're done, but I'm going to ask for a 5-minute recess. Quick bio break, please.
Thank you.
Another minute or so, and then we'll reconvene. So let's go ahead and get started, getting back to our chairs, please. Yeah, let's go ahead and get back to our seats. We're going to go ahead and reconvene now, please. Back to our seats. Thank you. Of our next presenter, which is, the Bloomington Sewer Expansion Project. We have the Department of Public Works. Do we have Public Works available? Okay. So I am going to ask a question, if hopefully you could answer it during the presentation that came from our community. Someone addressed this in public comment, but there is a concern about the sewer expansion, and residents who are interested may be required to sign an irrevocable easement. So that is a huge concern in the community. So if you're able to address it during your presentation, that would be wonderful. Thank you.
All right, so my name is Vladimir Reyes. I'm with San Bernardino County Public Works Special Districts. Good evening, Bloomington MAC members, Baca's office, and Bloomington residents. With me, we have Michael Baker. This is our consultant. They're in charge of the engineering design for the project. And I'll turn it over to them, and I will get to your question here.
Good evening, council and members of the Bloomington community. My name is Alicia Gonzalez. I'm a public outreach specialist with Michael Baker International. Tonight, I'm joined by my colleague Alex Tapia. We'll be hanging out at the boards later for specific questions, and he's available for Spanish translation as well, okay? So next slide. Oh, do I have a clicker? Perfect. Thanks for that intermission. Okay, so just a quick overview. We'll give a description of the project's purpose and need, the project's funding source. I'll go an overview of what the project entails, which roads will be affected by construction, the project's timeline, property owner responsibilities, and then where you can find information about project updates and additional information, including the slides from tonight. And then, of course, after, we'll save time for questions and answer, and I think we will take public comment. Okay, so project purpose and need. The county is implementing the Bloomington Sewer Expansion Project along Marigold, Locust, and Linden Avenue of the Valley Corridor Specific Plan. As you guys can see on this map shown on the screen, the project boundary really encompasses, almost 80% of the specific plan boundary, if I had to put a number to it. It's that red kind of overlay area. The specific plan boundary is shown in the red border. Properties within this project boundary, as you know, are currently serviced by septic and do not have any option to connect to sanitary sewer. And of course, quality of life and bolstering the economic growth and development of the specific plan area are priorities for the county and also for the Bloomington area itself. So with that, the county is looking to improve the availability and access to sanitary sewer in the Valley Corridor Specific Plan and really support the specific plan's vision of a healthy and vibrant community corridor that offers employment and retail opportunities in a walkable, safe, and attractive place. So moving on, here's a vicinity map of the project area. As shown, the project area is bounded to the north by Marigold and Grove Avenues, Cedar Avenue to the east, to the south, the I-10 freeway, and then finally to Alder Avenue to the west. The best part about this project is that it is fully funded by the Southern California Association of Governments Regional Early Action Program, 2021 grant funding from the State of California Department of Housing and Community Development. So $6.5 million right here into the community. This funding specifically covers the design and construction of the sewer main lines and appurtenant structures occurring on those 3 roadways, Marigold, Locust, and Linden. So here's a breakdown of the project scope. In total, we're looking at 4,900 linear feet of 8-inch sewer main lines and 2,600 linear feet of 12-inch sewer main lines. That totals 7,500 feet. 24 utility manholes and connection of those new sewer main lines into the trunk line that already exists within Valley Boulevard. And it's kind of tricky to see on this graphic on the screen, but we have printouts in the back that you can see with a little bit more detail. And the best part is this will bring the option to connect to sewer to over 160 parcels. And I want to be really clear here, while the project at this point does not propose sewer lateral connections to individual residences and businesses within this area, the county is actively pursuing funding opportunities for those private lateral connections, okay? So as everyone knows, this area supports a wide range of residential and business driveways and parking along the street. So the county is going to do its best to minimize impacts during construction to business operations and to access to individual residences and parcels. However, you might experience some brief traffic delays during construction and repaving activities. After the sewer infrastructure has been installed, all impacted roads are going to be repaved, okay? Here's our project timeline. We kicked this project off in June. In October, that's now, we're completing our public outreach just as a matter of information so you all know what's going on. In November, the county plans to finalize construction plans and technical specifications, and the project will go out to bid in December. And we do anticipate construction to occur between January and June 2026. And we're really on the hook for getting this construction done because the grant funding expires at the end of June. So this is something that the county is committed to doing and getting done quickly. So what do you need to do if you live in this area that will be, if you live in the 160 parcels that have the opportunity to connect to these sewer main lines? So there's no immediate action necessary. While the project, like I said, doesn't propose those lateral connections to individual businesses, the county is looking for those funding opportunities to make that happen too. If that funding secured, the county is going to work with property owners to determine those next steps. But at this point, we're just building that main infrastructure. I do want to emphasize property owners are not required to tie into the new sewer main lines. However, once they're constructed, if you don't want to wait for the county to pursue those future funding opportunities, of course you can have the option to connect into the sewer yourself if you're really interested in that. And I did put the instructions on the screen here and we can talk to you about it after. But basically that process looks like you contacting the Department of Public Works Special Districts, Water and Sanitation for those specific requirements. And there are some permit application fees as well as inspection, connection, and capacity charges that may apply. And a connection to the public sewer system is required when a new development project is proposed. So anytime you have that established sewer system boundary, if you want to redevelop a site, that project applicant would be required to tie into the system. But if you're just looking at like maybe a house renovation, there's not going to be a requirement for you to connect into the sewer. Okay, so moving on for where you can find project updates and additional information. For one, you can talk to me, Vladimir, and Alex after this meeting. You can also visit the county's website shown on this screen. If you go to the specialdistricts.sbcounty.gov website and search for Bloomington sewer expansion, you're going to see it like you see on this screen. Click on that link. You can find relevant project documents and updates on the construction timeline and schedule. but I just want to reemphasize the county will notify property owners ahead of construction so that you know when that will specifically occur, including any notice of temporary road closures. With that, again, I'm Alicia Gonzalez. Vladimir and Alex and I are here to answer any questions.
The board, I'll start. So the 6.5 million is to put the lines in themselves. And if residents choose to connect to that line, then there is funding possibly available if we connect with the county.
Correct. So we're actively seeking grant opportunities to provide funding for those connections.
Okay, so those are a possibility. The other question that I had asked
And
beforehand.
as far as the easements, all the work that's currently proposed is within public right of way. So right now we're not expecting any easements. That would come at a later stage if we do receive the funding to provide the connections to individual parcels, then we would need access, and it would be a temporary easement just to construct the line. Or we would construct it to the property line, and then the property owner could tie in.
By that question about the irrevocable annexation. So if a resident chooses to have their property connected to the line already, there'll be a temporary easement that's required.
Sorry to interrupt.
Go ahead.
No, so it wouldn't be, if they choose to tie in, they would tie in, and the main line would be pretty much down the center of the road. So there wouldn't be an easement required.
So if I live there and I want to connect, I have my own funding for it.
Right.
I want to connect, will I be required to sign an irrevocable annexation to be able to connect as the resident who's requesting this to occur?
So this is a different type of easement, not so much the access to the parcel. Is that?
It's an easement that is going to be required.
I'm not sure. I'll get you an answer. I'll have to talk to our land development team.
Okay, so we're not sure about that answer yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Diane, if I may, to clarify the question a little bit, I think the concern or the question falls within, would the easement annexation be required to connect to any sewer connection such as Rialto Water? That would
No.
just be a process through
Through the county.
LAFCO allowing them to connect, but just the water.
So there are areas, and I don't want to kind of diverge too far off track, but there are areas in the county where the county isn't the owner of the sewer line. And that's when you run into the kind of the scenarios you're describing. But this would be San Bernardino County Special District's owned line. So you wouldn't run into that.
Quite a bit. Thank you.
Yeah.
Perfect. Let's see if I had any more questions. I think that's all the questions I had. Yolanda, do you have any questions?
That's my second name. Nobody calls me that. It's okay. Yeah, I did have a question. Is there like a radius? You said it would be a parcel number that we would submit if we wanted to tie into that line?
Yeah, so currently the main line's going to run pretty much in front of, what is this, Marigold, down Locust, and down Linden, connecting to the existing trunk line that's on Valley Boulevard. Correct. Yeah, it's 7,500 feet. It's not, yeah.
Try and ask a question. The other 160 parcels.
Yes.
If somebody doesn't want to hook up to this line, are they going to be charged a service fee on their water bill or their property tax?
No, so if the property owner elects to stay on septic, as long as there's no development that triggers that connection, there's, as far as I know, there shouldn't be any fee assessed.
If a current property owner, I don't know the rules and regulations, is approved for an ADU on that property, well, since it's new, is it required to be,
That would more than likely trigger that requirement.
and if that requirement is, if that is a requirement for that ADU, is the property required to also, is the main house required to also connect with that line?
I believe so, yes. Yeah, so it would be based on wastewater output. If that increases significantly to where the existing septic system needs to be overhauled or increased in capacity, then that wouldn't be an option, and it would be the tie-in would be required, yeah.
Thank you. Alejandro? Or, I'm sorry, Joe, did you have any more questions on that? Alejandro? No. We'll do that with public comment. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Of value of water presentation. And remember, if you have questions or you have comments, concerns, use the public comment form so that we can have it on record and have you in front of the microphone with your uninterrupted time. Much.
Good evening, and thank you to the MAC for having West Valley here to provide a presentation on the value of water. I am Linda Jadeski. I am the Assistant General Manager at West Valley. Just to give you a little bit of background on West Valley, we're a public water utility. We're a California special district formed under the California Water Code. And our inception was in 1952, when our name back then was the Bloomington County Water District. As the name implies, we are a community water system. There are no stocks, no profits. When you pay your water bill, the water that flows to the sources that makes the district run smoothly. And for as a public utility, West Valley works for you. We can't charge our customers more than the actual cost to deliver that service. Our mission is to provide our community with high quality and reliable water service in a cost-effective and sustainable manner. West Valley Water District's Board of Directors consists of 5 members within the community who are elected by division. The Board of Directors develop policies that govern the district, and the district's general manager oversees the day-to-day operations of the district. This slide shows the service area of West Valley Water District. We have a north and a southern system, and we're proud to serve the communities of Bloomington, Colton, Fontana, Jurupa Valley, Rialto, and unincorporated San Bernardino County. From our faucet, every drop travels through a carefully maintained system built to serve communities across this service area. West Valley Water District delivers clean and reliable water 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year to our communities. As part of our mission, we continually strive to provide high quality service while planning ahead for the future. That reliability doesn't happen by chance. It's made possible by the people, facilities, and infrastructure working together every single day. I'm proud to share that once again, West Valley met or exceeded all state regulatory standards for water quality in 2024. This achievement reflects the hard work and dedication of our entire team and our ongoing commitment to maintaining a reliable and resilient water system. Where does your water come from? You may be asking this question. Our service to our customers comes from both local and imported sources, groundwater and surface water. By diversifying our water sources, we help to ensure reliability, no matter what challenges come our way. Water use. Not only is water used for drinking, cooking, bathing, and cleaning, but it's also used for fire protection. We serve customers, residential, commercial, and irrigation, as well as other service customers. When you take a step back and you look at our neighbors, West Valley's rates remain below the average when compared to other water districts in the region. Our rates have remained the same for the past 10 years. However, over the years, our costs as the districts have been impacted by a number of factors. Aging infrastructure, pipes, pumps, and treatment systems need repairs and upgrades to prevent breakdowns and service disruptions. Emergency preparedness. We prioritize proactively protocols for maintenance and emergency service. And there's also inflation and increasing costs of service, such as labor, materials, and electricity. Those have all increased, increasing how much it costs for us to deliver services. Investing in our shared water future. We have a complex system of systems with ongoing investments for cost-effective, long-term, reliable, and sustainable water supply. Those investments extend the useful life of our facilities by providing efficient operation and maintenance so that we avoid emergency repairs where it can be more expensive and chaotic. This also enhances our ability for fires, droughts, and earthquakes, and safeguards our water supply. West Valley Water District envisions a future where we are a model for innovation and sustainability with a commitment to our growing communities. This process takes expert planning, investment, and teamwork. That's why we continue to undertake major projects designed to strengthen our system for decades to come. Each of the efforts builds another layer of protection into our system, ensuring water keeps flowing in emergencies, meeting future demands, and protecting public health and safety. Some of the major projects that we're embarking on are the Lord Ranch Facility Project, located in Rialto, just south of the 210 freeway. And this project will increase system reliability and efficiency and provide increased fire flow capabilities. Another project that we're working on is the Bloomington waterline replacement. We are happy to partner with the Supervisor Joe Baca on this project. And this project will protect families, homes, and livelihoods and help firefighters respond quickly and effectively. We will be constructing new water lines, fire hydrants, services, and meters for those residents in South Bloomington. One of the biggest projects that we've ever embarked on is the Oliver P. Romer Water Filtration Facility Upgrade and Expansion Project. This project is a $64 million project and increases our capacity from 14.4 million gallons per day to 21.6 million gallons per day. It replaces aging infrastructure and supports summer peak time demand. It allows the district to maximize the use of surface water when available and rest our wells so we can help the local groundwater basins recover. It supports a sustainable and long-term resource management acts across the region. A fire resiliency project that we just completed with our commitment to our community goes beyond delivering water. It means ensuring that our customer needs are met during emergencies. With this project, we were collaborating with Supervisor Armendariz, where we installed new fire hydrants in South Fontana to provide increased fire response. From earthquakes to wildfires and planned public safety shutdowns, our region faces challenges that can affect water delivery. West Valley invests in emergency generators to keep water moving. maintain water pressure, and to prevent contamination, and to ensure a steady water supply for firefighting and community needs. Looking ahead, we are looking to complete a long-term financial plan and a cost of service water rate study. Our board will be looking at workshops and board meetings, evaluating those needs, costs, and benefits, and consider any rate adjustments. At that point, opportunities for the public for input will be provided, and our board will eventually make a decision, and we will implement that action. I'd like to thank everybody, and I'd be happy to answer any questions.
I don't have any questions. Do you have any questions?
Okay. All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Our next presentation, we have Aaron Spear from Special Districts.
Hello, I think I know most everyone in here, but the idea for this evening was, since we're heading into year 9 here in Bloomington, is to kind of reintroduce, if not introduce for the first time, who Bloomington Recreation and Park District is and what our mission here is in Bloomington. As I said, we're going into year 9, which I can't tell you how time flies by. When I got here, it was pretty much a park district, and there was a park, and then there was whatever you called Old Hyala Park on Valley, which had a senior nutrition place and pretty much a building that just held our MAC meetings way back when, if you, which wasn't that long ago. When I was brought in to reinvent the park district into a full-on parks and recreation district, to where local community members in Bloomington could be served at the appropriate level and beyond. A lot of victories. There has been some challenges, but I would say there's been a lot of victories here in Bloomington in this regard. Our mission, Bloomington Recreation and Park District, under the direction of County of San Bernardino Special District's Public Works Division, strives to offer high-quality program services and facilities to enhance the lives and the residents and its visitors. And I think we're doing that, and I think we're doing it at a really high level. There's been many victories, not only New Isla Park here, but the difference between just 9 years ago of what Kessler Park looked like and what it looks like today. One of our preferred partners, the Bloomington Little League, who has definitely been here well beyond the district, but they've been here since the park has, and that goes all the way back to, I believe, the 70s. The park, Bloomington Little League had 2 fields at one time. They now have 4, with a very high-end dream field right at Kessler Park. Another preferred user at Kessler Park is the Olive Branch, a community organization that does an amazing amount of outreach, and in partnership with Bloomington Parks and Rec in the County of San Bernardino, serves a lot of the locals in a variety of ways. Iola Park also works with Troop 448, the Girl Scouts right here in Bloomington. Their preferred partnership happens to be with our community garden that was built here just last year. Each week here in Bloomington, right here in this room, over 500 meals are served to seniors right here in Bloomington, which is pretty amazing. That on Tuesdays and Thursdays, there's a breakfast, and on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, there's a terrific lunch where I think they average about 100 to 115 people per lunch, which is incredible. As I said, Kessler Park, this is our newest addition. This is the Kessler Dream Field, opened just this past March. It's a beautiful place, and it's brought an amazing look and gives the Little League and its program amazing amount of options and allows them to be versatile in so many ways. This is a project that we're really proud of and couldn't do it without Supervisor Baca and his mission. The good thing about working in Bloomington Parks and Recreation is we have a supervisor that loves community and loves parks, and he's pretty much bulldozed and plowed the way for us to do for the county of San Bernardino to do some amazing things. And this one vision was created by him, and to see it here today, it never gets old looking at it every day.
And so sorry. I just want to, if you go back, those
Yeah.
are real photos, correct? Those are not the renderings anymore.
No, those are real photos. Yes.
It's amazing.
These are drone photos, probably taken from right around opening ceremonies this year. Again, Kessler Park is very blessed. This is one of the premier batting cages that are outdoors within the county. I don't think I've seen a finer one. When I got here, it was pretty much unused because the maintenance of it was so, it was so hard to maintain it that it was pretty much unusable. And with the help of Supervisor Baca and the Public Works Special Districts Division, we were able to pretty much restart it and have artificial turf, brand new netting, and then batting pads as well as pitching gear. It's a safe and an amazingly great way for a child or a team to be able to practice hitting and pitching. Bloomington Park and Rec also partners with both the supervisor and other community partners doing such things as Kite Day and Earth Day. These are a couple of different Earth Day events we did where we've picked up trash right here in Bloomington. We usually average between 60 and 90 kids or 90 community members that serve and help in these events. These events are always a lot of fun because we get a great deal of work while having fun doing it. This is for most of you, this is have to have a long-term memory for this one. This is our new splash pad, which is right up there. When New Isla Park opened back in 2021, the original plan was to have this, but due to funding reasons, it was the only thing that was cut out of the Platinum project. And the saying, good things that come to those who wait, the splash pad that we would have got then wouldn't have been this. And we're averaging probably on the weekends, probably 200 or 300 children a day using this, and probably another 60 a day during the week using this. It's hot here. We all know that from May to still now. It's nice now, I would say, but there's been no stoppage of use here, and it's going to be a great thing for the community in the months and the years to come. This is our new Veterans Memorial that, again, just installed. That is a rendering. For some reason, I don't have a lot of pictures of this one, but this is the opening night. And again, a huge thank you to Dave Jane, who pretty much started this idea and brought it to both the Park District and Supervisor Baca. And again, just, a comment or a thought, this is what it turned into. And what was there before wasn't bad, but this is in no comparison. So this is the Bloomington Little League snack bar. When I got here, it was an old building that they took what was hard to use and made it functional. But now it's a full-on registration office and a high-end snack bar. They do a nice job of running it, and it's got a great look to the outside it, and it's been renamed the Escoto Family Snack Shack. And it's got air conditioning. It's a beautiful building now, and it sits right in the heart of Kessler Park, along with what we call as Wiffle Ball Plaza. A lot of this used to be just not too long ago used to be dirt, and now people with wheelchairs or people that can't walk or just people that don't want to get dirty can walk through the park now and get from field to field safely and easily, and it looks amazing also, for sure. What you didn't see in the previous picture, because it was an earlier picture, is the new mural. We have a partner with the Art Connection. They came to us on a national night out night, again, like Mr. Dave Jane did, with an idea, and they said, hey, we got some funding, and we'd like to, do you got a wall we can paint on? And we said, well, yes, we do. And this is one of my favorite days in the 9 years that I've worked here, is that all the children got to experience in this. They got to be a part of it. They got to paint on it. It wasn't just a really talented painter. This was a full-on community challenge that was met, and it looks great, and it's awesome. We couldn't be more proud of our holidays here in Bloomington. The trunk or treat, I'll speak more about at the end, but we have an Easter program that continues to grow. It's basically an Easter egg hunt and photos with the Easter bunny. It's something that we started with like 60 kids, and I think last year we were up in the 200s. Santa Photos, which is coming up in December. We run that every year. Santa Claus comes in on the San Bernardino County fire truck, gets dropped off, and gets to hear what kids want for Christmas while taking photos with their families. These are a couple of examples of programs that are listed in our brochures back there. Our dance program that actually meets right in here on Thursday nights. We have an amazing dance teacher that teaches a variety of different types of dance programs. Santa Photos, as I mentioned, coming up. Friday night co-ed softball, looking to offer that now. We've had leagues in the past, usually between 4 and 6 teams. Great way to come out and recreate and have some fun while not getting hurt. So the ones on the side do a softball tournament toy drive where each team brings a toy. I think we brought over 100 toys to Supervisor Baca's toy drive last year from this softball tournament. We love doing it. Trying to expand it and do a turkey shoot to where each player would bring a turkey. So again, depending on how many teams we get, we can have a lot of turkeys to donate to the olive branch so that they can get through in their outreach program. Junior baking happens in that kitchen right in there. It's a class that you sign up for monthly where your child can come in and learn how to bake goodies and have a good time while doing it. And then same thing with our kids art program that also happens on the other side of this building. And then lastly, our trunk or treat, which is just a little over 3 weeks away. It's going to be at Kessler Park this year. I want to make sure that everyone understands that because it's been here the last 3 years, but due to some upcoming construction here for some new amenities here, right here at Ayala Park, new swing system, new picnic shelters, we're going to be relocating the trunk or treat back to Kessler Park, and that'll be held on October 25th. And we are looking for more trunks. Last year we had over 4,000 people here at Ayala Park from the hours of 5 to 8:30. And so what that means is we need a ton of candy and a ton of people to pass out candy. The county and the Public Works Department and the actual community, local departments here, West Valley Water, just to name a few, all partner in this thing and help make this such a great event. So if you want more information about this, or you want to get involved, or you know somebody that wants to get involved, please have them either call the office or get a hold of me personally, and we'd love to get you involved so that we can continue to make this event such a great success. And like I said, a lot of good stuff coming soon that I don't necessarily have a drawing on or pictures, but we have a new swing system coming out here that's going to go right by the playground. Swings that one apparent actually it was just kind of like how Dave Jane did. Someone came up to me at our Movies in the Park event about 3 years ago and said, "Hey, you don't have swings here." And I went, "You're right." So after talking with Supervisor Baca about it, we figured out a way. So we will be having swings here very soon. Construction starts at the end of this year. More picnic shelters for shade are also coming here right now. I think we have 5. We're going to be adding 4 to 5 more within the park. So a lot of fun stuff happening at Ayala Park. The one thing that I want to reiterate, I got here, or before I got here, they had 2 part-time 29-hour-a-week people that worked here at the park off and on. And it was a park and a half back then. Now you have 2 fully developed high-end parks. And currently we have 2 maintenance worker 1s. We have a district coordinator, myself, the rec superintendent, and then a few PSEs, which total into about 7 people. We are looking to add another full position in this next fiscal year, and add an extra PSE, because even though we have all this good stuff, it takes a lot of management, and it takes a lot to protect it and to preserve it and to make it functional for the public. So I couldn't be prouder of my staff. I couldn't be happier that and more grateful and thankful for Supervisor Baca and his passion for parks, as well as the MAC. It's been fun. It's been fun, and it's just gone by so fast. And doing this, it's exciting being here, knowing what we've done and what's coming in the future. So, no questions? Okay, thank you. Can't you? Go ahead, fire. Sure. Yeah. It. I would be your biggest fan in that. It's being worked on and talked about as we speak. I don't. There's not a timetable yet for it because it's pretty expensive, but the conversations are happening because I can't tell you how much I spend in banners. So trust me. If there's anybody in this community that wants an LED sign out on Cedar Valley, it's me. And so the conversations are definitely happening, and the supervisor is well aware. And it's you're right. It's definitely a need. It's a need for the MAC. It's a need for the Park District. It's a need for the Girl Scouts. It's a need for the Bloomington Little League to have an LED sign in Bloomington where it's highly visible. Would be another huge win.
All I can say is wow. It's wow. And thank you. It's amazing. You are the driving force behind this. You have that leadership that makes people want to come to you and offer you their suggestions. And you have been an amazing part of our community. And just everything that you've done, everything you coordinated and have helped make our community just better, a better place to live. Our quality of life is better because of that, especially for our kids. Thank you.
I appreciate it. I really do. From the bottom of my heart, I appreciate it. We do work hard here, but I couldn't do it, and I mean this wholeheartedly. I couldn't do it without our staff. I couldn't do it without our supervisor's support. And I never say this. I don't say this as much as I should. I really couldn't do it without the County of San Bernardino's Public Works Department and their fire and their resources. If there's a lot of hands that go into this to make this work, and I couldn't be prouder to represent who we are.
Our hub that everything goes
Thank
around.
you.
I wanted to say something as well. Aaron, good job. But I do want to say that one of the main reasons that I stepped up to the position as a commissioner for this district is because I, as a parent of 2 generations, um, my own children and then 5 of my grandchildren, Joe Baca's office walks the walk, and I wanted to be a part of this team. I just wanted to say that.
Joe?
Trying to say, I was a sheriff sergeant for 28 years, and we went from a non-family friendly park to friendly parks now, and I appreciate that.
Real quickly, yeah, I used to play Little League 10, 15 years ago. Man, the park is crazy. Yala Park is crazy. I didn't even know we had a Yala Park until this new one opened up. So, a lot of great work and very inspired that, Bloomington can have this positive change. So thank you so much for helping with that.
I refrain from saying that. My kids have been involved and it's amazing now. So thank you very much for that presentation. So we're going to move to the next area, which is approval of minutes. Now, I wasn't here, so want to make a move to approve the minutes?
I make a move to approve the minutes for September 3rd of 2024.
Do we have a second?
Aye, I approve.
Okay, do we have a motion to pass? All in favor?
All in favor,
Aye.
say aye.
Okay, so nobody opposed. Okay, so minutes have passed. So we have the approval of the minutes from September 3rd of 24 and, actually of 2025. That's the only difference. So next we have our public comment. So public comment is open now, and we'll go ahead and start from the top. Is it Paul Vivas? Paul Vivas, can you go ahead and come on up? Is Paul still here? I know several people left. Oh, yes, come on up, sir. Okay, thank you very much. Patricia Holloway? Miss Pat.
We can take the mic to her.
Miss Pat, we'll take the mic to you. Go ahead and sit down. Oh.
I said that and I didn't get it. I apologize. I was so slow.
Thank you.
Thank you, Erin.
I have a complaint that I have been talking about since March. I have complained about those big rigs in front of my house. At first, it started out being 3. Now it's a whole big lot of them. And I have children that have asthma. Can you imagine getting up smelling that gas that they let off every morning by 5 o'clock and in the afternoon when everybody's supposed to be resting or eating their dinner? Somebody needs to do something about it. I've asked you to talk to the council. I don't know what he's doing, but he needs to work on that. That's wrong for people to have to live like that. You wouldn't want to live that way, and neither does he. So somebody needs to do something about it. Thank you.
Much. And thank you for putting your address here. We're going to make sure that Supervisor Baca's office has this along with your complaint and your concern so that they can follow through with that. Thank you very much. Next, we have Mr. Jane. It's your choice. We're taking it to you today.
Yeah, I know it. Well, first I want to thank Aaron for sure for keeping up the park as well as he's doing. Okay, second thing is we got a lot of problems here, guys, and we're gonna burn. Okay, code enforcement needs to get out and knock on doors and do weed abatement again, or the fire department like we used to. Okay, because right between here and Laurel, San Bernardino Avenue, that's going to go up in smoke. And one of the guys that owns the trucking company right there said he's got to have to move out because it's going to go up and tear all these trucks. And he's got over 75 trucks. Okay? And it's going to go up, and it's bad. If everybody drives up San Bernardino Avenue and look on the north side of the street, it's terrible. And I used to live in that area, and when it goes, the grammar school's going, everything's going to go on fire, guys. I'm telling you. We need code enforcement to start knocking on doors like they used to. They used to go into businesses around town and check the businesses out. The fire department used to do that. Well, if they don't have the funds, then let's find a way we can. If our public's got to do it, we're going to have to go check these people. Okay? Another on the good note is the 25th of this month, we have a Challenge Kid rodeo down at the Kessler Park. We'd like to invite all of you down there. You get free lunch, okay? But come on down. If you want to donate candy, donate anything like that, please bring it with you or call me up. My name's on the flyer and we'll get it to you. Okay? Thank you very much.
Very much. Next, we have Gilbert. Hold on, speaker. We'll go ahead and do your. We want you on record, sir.
I just wanted an update from last meeting because she said she was going to check into the 3 lots that we brought to attention, but they've already left, so there's apparently no update to be made. So I brought up about the one on Santa Ana and Cactus, brought up about the one on Larch that's got an actual office building and restrooms in front of it, and I brought up another one over off of by the high school too, but they were supposed to check into it. But I mean, like I said last time, the one on Santa Ana by Cactus, this has been a 12-year battle. And that's the one I was telling you guys earlier. He's got 3 advertisements all over social media platforms advertising the truck parking. Paid truck parking, $350 a month. Bring it in. We got gates. We got cameras. We got security. So, but he's gone. He already left. So I just wanted an update.
I'm taking notes here, sir, so we can make sure to pass that on. Thank you, Gilbert. Next, we have Roxanne. We'll take the mic to you. Thank you, Aaron, for being Vanna today.
I never use this thing. I'm usually loud enough.
You are, but we want it on record, so that's why we use the mic.
So I'd like to tell the gentleman, thank you for sticking a little bit longer with us to do with the rezoning of the trucking. One of the things, Bloomington was never really with our roads settled for trucking. So if you guys are going to be doing revising, the roads need to be looked at too. Our road base is like diddly nothing. I live on Taylor. I have 5 truck yards. When people come down Alder, and sometimes they think the freeway is an access, and then they get down there past Valley Boulevard and, oh, no, I can't get on the freeway. So they zoom down Taylor Street. Our road is falling apart. But we get traffic jams because we have all those trucking yards that seem to now, it's okay. We're in the middle of the road, of the street. We'll drop 2 and 3 trailers. We've called CHP on it. They never come. And they've been there for an hour, 2, 3 hours. This little street between Alder and Locust, and we are falling apart down there. So please, if you're going to be revising, please look at the streets also. They're just the impact for all these trucks. And I have dirt haulers on my street. And when they're full and they bring in their trucks, that's even more than a 53-foot that's fully packed. So my other thing is the wall. I even called up Joe Baca's office and I asked about it, and I was told that there was a meeting going to be directed on Monday and that I would be able to find out that they would call me. I have checked my messages every day and still nothing. Today, I had 5 neighbors. Anything else happening with the wall? Anything at all? We had more break-ins. One of the trucking firms got a break-in, and it was a sting due to the big business with the buses that get fixed and bring all kinds of critters as things are getting fixed. They got broke into. And whose yard did they use on the freeway? Mine. And Caltrans, now for 4 months in a row, has never came and replaced any of that. I have had to go buy fencing to make sure that I no longer have homeless walking up on my backyard, 200 feet from my back door, where I have small children living. I have livestock that have access to go down in that waterway because Caltrans doesn't care. The county doesn't care. Now I'm going to get to 4-H. 4-H, little group, they're trying their darndest to regroup, restart up again. If anybody knows a building that they can use that has a kitchen for just a little bit until their funding gets more, because they're also contending with a 4-H lady who says that Bloomington is non-existent. Bloomington's 4-H used to be one of the largest in California, and now they're up to 20 kids. Last time I was here, there were only 11. So if you know anybody, let me know that building that they can use. They were here this afternoon, out there having their meetings. And now with it getting cold season, all their meetings are held outside because they can no longer use the church, who took all of their supplies and just gave them nothing but broken stuff when those people quit.
Thank you, Roxanne. For 4-H, who would be the contact? Okay, so you would be the contact for 4-H? Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Next, we have Patty Silva.
I actually wish I would have spoken earlier because I'm just hearing it's a constant thing that my family's been here since the 30s. They moved in from Riverside and came here, and it was a small community. Everybody knew everybody. Everybody took care of everybody. They started up softball teams. They started up baseball teams. We rode horses. We rode our bikes, but everybody took care of one another. And what I'm seeing is, now I'm hoping you guys can answer some questions here. And I do appreciate you guys because I realize you're a conduit to, of course, the people that live here, as well as the supervisors getting the information to you so you can disseminate it. But I do thank you guys. So my question is, as long as Bloomington is unincorporated, I feel like we're bullied. We're bullied not just by the neighboring cities, we're bullied by, and I hate to say it, not saying Joe Baca, because I really appreciate a lot of the things that we've seen, that it's helped our community. But we get bullied by the rest of the supervisors. And one thing I learned from my mom is when Bloomington used to have a school, their own school board, when everybody was excited and said, let's join Colton, there's power in numbers. Well, there isn't, because Bloomington got the shaft. And that's what we're getting again. So when we have these big warehouses, I want to know, where does that funding go? Does it go to the general fund? And when, I'll tell you what, I worked Rancho Cucamonga as a deputy. And we had, of course, a lot of residences, but it was a city. And they fought to have deputies out there. I mean, we would have 8 to 9 deputies at night, and that's just regular patrol deputies. Then you had your own you know, your traffic division and your special other groups that you had, investigation teams. How do we have? Do we still have one deputy for Bloomington? We have two now. Okay. And that, I was an explorer back in that was what, 80s or 90s? And we had very little. We had very little of anything. What about our fire? You know, what do we have? Are we getting money back from these warehouses? And you got to realize too, as long as we're not a city and we're unincorporated, your voice means nothing. It really doesn't. You have no power in that voice. And when you're a city, just like someone commented, look at this overpass. When you go, you see like China, and I get it. They can put up buildings like nothing within months. This is ridiculous that it's taking that long, and it's hurting us as a people. We can't go back and forth. Just like Mr. Silva said, that it's, you know, our safety. It's a safety issue. And as long as we're not fighting to become a city, we're going to be pushed around continuously until we do something about it.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And as you guys saw when the map went up, I showed where I live down there and how I am completely surrounded by warehouses. But because of the boundaries, those warehouses are not county warehouses. They're Rialto owns those. So I'm assuming that Rialto would get funding from those particular warehouses that are there. If the warehouses are in the county, then there is a tax base there and funding does come to the county for that. Which exact fund? I don't know. We can answer that whether now or later.
In the past, we've done a presentation where we do go over the budget and some of the funding that comes into Bloomington. Would be happy to bring that presentation over again and share with the public. Where certain money is allocated for, it does go to the deputies to be paid. It does go to our special district staff, as Aaron mentioned, being able to afford that. But would be happy to bring that presentation back where it shows the breakdown of the Bloomington Reserve monies that come in. The Bloomington Reserve is only being able to be spent within Bloomington. So as mentioned, within the deputies, special districts, anything outside of that Bloomington Reserve that is general fund, it would be to the rest of the board as well. But we'll show that breakdown. Hopefully that answers some questions. And if there's any more conversation that needs to be had from that, we'd be happy to have it.
And thank you for your service to our communities. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you so much, Roxanne. And Supervisor's Office will send us will bring a breakdown to us, hopefully within the next meeting or two. But thank you. Any more public comment? We have the cards right here. We have Pam Gale next. And Aaron will take you the microphone.
Hi, I just want to say I've been here as long as two other people in the room. And I'm going to think we're the only ones that remember a parks program that was working in Bloomington for the last 2 decades at least. And I just want to compliment this renewed vision of Bloomington's parks and the fact that we have things for our children to do that for 20 years, at least 20 years. We've had nothing locally, not with the exception of Little League, because we've always had a great Little League. But parks-wise, as for activities for our children, we would go through where we're being told we couldn't use the buildings or there wasn't any funds or whatever. It's really nice to see it coming along and looking good. But maybe we'll get some Bluetooth speakers in here. Something down that was suggested lower. so we could hear better, because honestly, my ears are old and they don't hear real well. But everything's up above and everything carries. And we shouldn't be able to, we should be not whispering back here and we ruin your whole meeting. So something in this room makes it really unfair to the community to not get to hear you're bringing in good speakers and you're bringing in things, but we're not hearing we're not hearing.
No, you're okay.
Okay, thank you, Pam. Oh gosh. Tanya Gonzalez, I think. I'm sorry. Where is she? Okay.
Sorry. Yeah, just giving another comment. I think it's more just of a suggestion and a request for the county to have interpretation. This evening, you know, with the AB 98 presentation, there was community members who were here specifically to listen to that. But I believe asked if there was going to be interpretation, but they said there was going to be only interpretation for the public comments. So it's like, how do you expect people to give a public comment if they can't understand what's happening, right? So I'm not saying you have to bring it at every meeting. Maybe you can do something like a request, you know, someone can call maybe 48 hours before a meeting, request interpretation, and have that be brought up to the meeting. Because I mean, right now there's a majority of the people here are English speakers, but that's because people who speak Spanish don't feel comfortable coming because they don't know if they're going to be able to understand the information or if they're going to be heard properly. And again, just to emphasize what I said earlier, a lot of these issues wouldn't happen if the county grew a pair and they stopped accepting warehouses in these areas. If the surrounding cities stopped bringing in warehouses, there's no need for warehouses anymore, right? There's a lot of vacant warehouses in the area. No one is working them. So the point that they make about we bring jobs to the community, it's dumb, it's stupid, because it's not really bringing anything except problems. So
Thank you very much. Last, we have Joaquin.
Hi, yeah. I wanted to add on to that about translation. We need translation at these meetings. Today we provided translation from the organization that I work with, and you know, that's how people were able to listen and participate in the meeting. And you know, as a Bloomington resident, hearing that the rail yard is stopping a public good from, you know, just being able to provide the services that it needs, it like blows my mind. How is a private company having so much control over a public good? It is a private company. I'm sorry, man. It's federally ran, the federal jurisdiction, yeah, but it's a private company, and it just, if the county could make some efforts, or you know, if there could be something to speed up the process, it doesn't make sense to me. There's hundreds of people, thousands that cross that bridge every day, and because of one company, you know, we're having to wait years, and they couldn't even give us a straight answer today of how many years it's going to take. The rail yard has too much power, and you know, maybe we could try something else. You know, instead of, you know, trying to work with their schedule, they should be working with ours and with what the people need. And that's it. Thank you.
Joaquin. Public comment is closed. The next item on our agenda is old business and new business. Does anybody on our board have any old business or new business that we need to bring up? Yeah, okay. Thank you. We'll do our board members' comments and any community events that you may have to share, starting down here.
No additional comments. Thank you.
This was very informative night. There were a lot of presentations. Thank you all who've stayed here as long as you have. It's almost one of our records. So thank you very much. And it's all about the community. Like Ms. Silva says, we're volunteers here, and our job is to facilitate your concerns with the supervisor's office. So that's why we do, take notes on your public comment cards. We do provide them to the supervisor's office so that these are on record. Your voice on the microphone is on record. So we're here to facilitate your concerns. So thank you for coming, and we'll just keep doing our volunteer job as best we can. Joe?
Yes, a long meeting, but just real quick, I do know a little thing about the sheriff's dispatch system. We're talking about vendors, for example. You must call. 15 calls in a month generates what's called a POP, problem-oriented policing call. And now we're seeing that Sergeant Lisner has a team ready to go after some of the vendors. Now the regular deputies per night, they really can't do much other than tell them to leave. But when a POP project is up, a team gets assembled. The sheriffs are there, the highway patrol are there, it's a task force. Now they got the public health there who can confiscate the carts. Okay, I remember that one of the last times public health tested some of the samples of the meat, it was canine. Okay, and our business owners are suffering because they have to pay rent and everything else like that. So in other words, just keep calling. I'm going to lose my voice. I have surgery in the morning. Keep calling and it'll generate a task force. Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you to everyone for coming to the meeting. This was a very informative. I do also feel a lot of the frustrations and emotions that come from being a resident in Bloomington. I understand we've always been underserved, either economically or just kind of getting attention from somebody in the county or the state. But trying to make the best of the situation. We have a lot of help. This was one of the biggest meetings I've experienced, and clearly there is a big want and need to have Bloomington eventually develop into something more. But given the history of Bloomington, it's always been to thrive and persevere and maintain our history. And I'm just very grateful to everyone that was here that shares that same mission. So thank you, everybody. Also, Western Days in a few weeks and Trunk or Treat coming up soon. So.
Thank you. Do we have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
I motion to adjourn the meeting.
Joe Silva seconds. All in favor? Aye. Meeting is adjourned at 8:58. Thank you.
Thank you.